Brazil and the tropical location of Salvador da Bahia. Salvador's beautiful beaches give way to a vibrant city teeming with life and culture. With historic Portuguese architecture rising from exotic surroundings and looking out across the Atlantic Ocean, Salvador is a city unlike any other. Sport is in the blood in Brazil, and the people here are overflowing with passion. So, with a huge judo village alongside the venue, all the young judo fans were in for a treat. With next year's World Championships for individuals taking place in Rio de Janeiro and a newly crowned Olympic champion in Sarah Menezes, the incredible Brazilian fans have plenty to cheer about. With the venue for the 2012 World Team Championships rising from the beach, the fighters prepared in the unfamiliar surroundings of sun, sand, sea and palm trees in every direction. The teams is an event unlike any other, with 5 fighters spanning the weights. The competition is bursting with passion, tension and camaraderie, as fighters think of not just their own performances, but that of their teammates as well. The world's media gathered here to capture every moment of the action. And at the official draw, the coaches, players and VIPs waited with bated breath for the outcome. Could the mighty Russians continue their dominance? Could the Japanese bounce back? Or could the host deliver on home soil? And we start with the women, where Brazil is fast becoming a force to be reckoned with on the international scene. Their talented young female team is a tight family unit whose members pull together all the way. And they have talent in abundance, especially from new Olympic champion Menezes. Despite being an under 48 kilo fighter, it was her that led the team out for their opening encounter against Mexico and set an example with a professional performance, getting the job done with a Yuko and a Wazari at the higher weight. But her teammates were not to be overshadowed, and they unleashed a blast of ippons on the Mexicans to see out a 5-0 whitewash on their South American neighbours and progress to the next round. Lying in wait for them would be the might of Japan, the top dogs of female judo. After a disappointing Olympics, the team in Salvador was full of youngsters who missed out on London. They'd be looking to show the national selectors that it should be them flying the flag for Japan in 4 years' time. With Menezes rested on the sidelines, she was forced to watch a nail-biting encounter. And it started well as her replacement Miranda smashed Hashimoto with a huge hip throw for Ippon. 1-0 Brazil. But the Japanese pulled level through the quick feet of teenager Yamamoto. Things went from bad to worse for the hosts as Silva was pinned by Abbey in the under 63 kilos match. 2-1 Japan. Then it was almost over as Portela went to Wazari down to Ima. But the world number 6 refused to give up and came back with a trademark Uranegi Ippon to send the match into a last contest tiebreak. Unfortunately, it just wasn't to be for Brazil, as Alphaman was caught napping by Tachimoto. It would be Japan that progressed through to the final. However, after Portela rounded off a victory against Turkey in the repechage, Brazil were through to fight for bronze against Mongolia. This Brazilian team really full of youngsters, and they're looking for medals 2016, and almost for sure they're going to get a hatful. Full of camaraderie, and that's what this team event is all about. And here they are against Mongolia. First up is Miranda at under 52 kilograms against Balanyam of Mongolia. Miranda is in white. Miranda, a big throw, and she's taken her down. A Yuko scored to Miranda, and the Brazilian squad are going mad, I can tell you that now. So Miranda goes forward. There's Quadros, she's up next. And what's she gonna do? Ogoshi! Oh, a massive Ogoshi there And you don't very often see that now at this level. It was a classical ogoshi, right on the edge. It was a basic hip throw. The hips go across, controls it by her arm being round the waist, and she just directs her opponent onto her back. Brazil, 1-0 up. Great stuff, and look at that. Quadros now comes out. Miranda has started the ball rolling, and the Brazilians are flying. So Dosseren from Mongolia in blue against Quadros. So Quadros, right-handed fighter. So's Dosseren, but she can go both ways. Now what's going to happen? Oh, it's dropped Sianagi on the edge. Oh, she gets a Wazari there. And, well, Dosseren just hesitated for that split second on the edge there. But Quadros dropped underneath for the Sianagi and drove her right the way over. So is it going to be 2-0 up? Seconds ticking away! Beautiful as she was. Wazetti upon. So 2 Wazari scores then, win the contest outright. And she took her not quite flat on her back, but almost, and that got her the win in the end. So now Brazil just need one more win and they have the bronze medal. They celebrate. The camaraderie is amazing. So now we have Sadev Seren from Mongolia in blue against Silva. Silva on great form. So Silva, very, very cautious, looking for the grip. She's got her grip. Straight onto that sleeve, Uchimata! Oh, that was very close. Sadev Seren, one of the most experienced of the Mongolian team. Does well there, does the splits out of that. Couldn't quite get the leverage there. Silva. Now Silva, left to left situation here. One of them is going to go. Who's it going to be? Sadev Seren! Oh, she's flat on her back. And Silva picked her up, Koso Tagaki, and took her backwards onto her back. And Brazil have won the bronze medal on home turf. She is the hero of the moment, that's for sure. But this was a team effort from a great squad.
2 Uranagis in the following fights from Patella and then Ulfamum ensured Brazil ended with a 5-0 win. Menezes collected the trophy for bronze from IJF President Marius Visa on what was the end of a fantastic day for Brazilian female judo.
Eu sinto muito orgulho da equipe ter conquistado essa medalha agora no Mundial por equipe. É orgulho para a equipe como um todo e todo mundo está bem feliz.
I feel great. This is a unique trophy for the girls. We've always been close, but this time it all went well. And now it's just happiness.
Joining Brazil on the bronze podium were the ever-present Cuban women after they won 3-2 against Russia. The final would be contested between Japan and China and ended up going down to the wire. The Japanese lightweights were unstoppable, and Hashimoto and then Yamamoto both used pins to give Japan a 2-0 lead. But China started a dramatic comeback as Zhu beat Abe by a Yuko and a Wazari to keep the pressure on the Japanese. Then, deep in golden score, Chen pulled out a last-ditch attack to score against Imai and keep the Chinese alive. It meant the title of World Team Champions would be won or lost in the very last match.
So Tachimoto, it's all down to her. Can she beat Chen? Chen has been a little bit negative in this match, looking for penalties. And Tachimoto trying to throw, and she gets the score. A big angle sweep there. From her, gets a Wazari scored. Not quite the full ippon, but she takes her onto her side. And that's going to be enough for them to become world champions. None of the ones here were at the Olympic Games, and they wanted to prove their point that they want to be there in 2016. It was a great performance, and they are the new world team champions.
For this tournament, we have brought athletes who didn't participate in the Olympics. And I think being able to win against athletes who competed in the Olympics is a big result for us moving forward.
Following the success of the women's team on day one, the Japanese men were eager to continue the good form on day two. After a 4-1 opening victory against Uzbekistan, they faced Georgia in the quarter-final, where there were fireworks. Ebinuma put Japan ahead with a huge ippon, but Tatalashvili struck back for Georgia. Nagashima made it 2-1 Japan, before Lipiteliani equalised spectacularly. The team contest was decided by a classical Uchimata from 2010 World Openweight champion Hanekawa. In their semi-final, they obliterated the top seeds France 5-0. Ebinuma got the ball rolling with a Wazari score, followed by Ippon from Iwano and Yuko from Nagashima. The 2012 Olympic bronze medalist Nishiyama made it 4-0, before the latest young Japanese heavyweight Shishinoi finished the job, pinning Francis Toro for Ippon and securing Japan's place in the final. On the other side of the draw was Russia, who topped the judo medal table in London. After a convincing 4-1 win over Ukraine, they took on Brazil. 1-0 down, Mendonça equalised for the Brazilians, holding Kaitmazov for Ippon. But ultimately, Voprazov ended the host's dream of a semi-final place when he countered Silva for a golden score. As with the Japanese, Russia also won their semi-final 5-0, beating Korea. The highlight was an awesome arm lock from Khan Magomedov in the opening bout. It set up a mouth-watering final with Japan. The Brazilians, meanwhile, were desperate to get back on track in the repechage final against Algeria. They didn't disappoint, winning 5-0. It set up a rematch of last year's final with France. Everyone expected the bronze contest between them to be close, but they had no idea how close it was going to be. The crucial moment of the opening fight came after 2.5 minutes. Brazil's Revit ran France's dragon half the length of the mat, throwing him onto his side and putting his team 1-0 up. His teammate Mendonça came out guns blazing in the second half, attacking Elarden from every angle, taking the co-lead. But against the run of play, Elarden surprised Mendonça with a beautiful technique. Ouchigari, an inner reap of the thigh. From nowhere, France were level.
Well, this really is a crucial match here between Penalba and Petrie. And just over minute 17 seconds left to go. Penalba didn't have a hand on then. Latched onto the leg, drove him, but couldn't rotate him. And Petrie lands on his front. Well, Silva and Gobert both looking very anxious there. They know it might be down to them. Who's going to get this? Petrie's attacking left and right. There's another one! Oh, and he almost scores with that. Tied up the lapel, drove him sideways, but couldn't get him onto his back. So, golden score. The winner of this will take their team 2-1 ahead. This is anybody's match. Who's it going to be? Penalba. Oh, Penalba goes down. Oh, that was a big mistake. And Petrie drove him backwards, cleanly onto his back. I think Penalba started an attack, and he had it turned against him. It was Kouchigari there from Petrie. He was doing Kouchigari at the same time that Penalba was attacking, and he drove Penalba cleanly onto his back to put the French 2-1 up. Wow, Silva, really, this is the final, because if it comes down to 2-2, the final match
well, it's almost a formality with Silva for Brazil. So really this is the one to win. Can Silva get this win? Relatively inexperienced, but the whole team are relying on him to win this match. So the team are really getting behind him, saying you've got to dominate the sleeve. Don't let Gobert get the sleeve. And there's the Uchimata from Silva. Soto from Silva. Gobert goes on the defensive. So big Soto attempt there. And there's Terrell, he's up next. He knows he's really got his work cut out against Silva. And, well, the Brazilians really getting behind their man. And this could go either way. Coming up to 30 seconds left. Oh, my goodness, Silva's been countered. And Gobert, well, celebrates as if he's won the match, but there's still 30 seconds to go. And he countered him there. Silva went onto his side. And the Brazilians say, you've got to go forward. The seconds are ticking away. It's all over, almost. Oh, he's taking him down again. And he looks up there, Gobert, at the clock. Well, Mate, 6 seconds to go. It's almost all over. And you can see there, takes him onto his side, looks at the clock, and the Brazilians are going mad. Seconds are ticking away. It's almost 30. France, no, it's not. And that is what can happen in team competition. The last 2 seconds, and Gobert gets taken over by Silva for the full ippon. And that is what judo is all about. This is what separates our sport from any other sport. The ippon can be achieved at any time. And in this case, it was the last second of the contest. France thought they had it, but now it looks almost for sure, almost positively, that it's going to go Brazil's way. And everyone in this stadium knows it, including the French. And it's down to Silva in the final match. So Eduardo Silva is the new hero in Brazilian judo.
The final bout was a formality, with Francis Terrell standing no chance against the giant Rafael Silva. After 2 minutes, Terrell got desperate, illegally attacking the Brazilian's legs with his hand. Disqualification to Terrell. Brazil had clinched the bronze, and in the most dramatic circumstances. Korea faced Georgia in the other bronze contest. Georgia's cadaver was explosive against Wang. He set a frightening pace, never giving the Korean an inch. His superior attack rate was enough to put Georgia 1-up. In the second fight, Korea's So buried Tatilashvili with a stunning ippon, winding the Georgian onto his back. An injury to Lee at middleweight meant that Georgia went 2-1 ahead. It was down to Lipatiliani, the talisman of Georgian judo, to see it out. And that he did, out-gripping Kwak and neutralising his attacks. 4 penalties to the Korean meant victory for Lipatiliani and bronze for Georgia.
Wow, what a final this is going to be. Japan versus Russia. Everybody's been waiting for this match. And first up, in the under 66 kilos, is Ebenuma and Puliev of Russia. Ebenuma is in white. Mr. Marius Visa looking on. And you've got to say that Russia, probably the favourites in this, and that doesn't happen very often, but they had such an amazing Olympic Games. Oh, Yoko Satemi! And Awazari scored! Beautiful stuff there. Puliev drives Ebenuma over, and now Ebenuma has got it all to do. He dropped onto his knees, had control of the upper body, uses his head to drive, and Ebenuma had to go, well, onto his side, So now the Russians are ahead. Pulyaev, big thrower. Ebenuma is a massive thrower. Tried it again and didn't work. Oh, and he's got taken over. And was that off the knees? And Pulyaev just stopped. He hesitated for that split second. Ebenuma, also to Gary, just wraps around the outside of the leg and drives Pulyaev onto his back for the biggest hip-on. They've given it 1-0 Japan.
In the next fight, Owano kept up the pace set by Ebenuma and eventually scored a Yuko with a quick foot sweep to make the score 2-0 to Japan. At under 81 kilograms, Nagashima had a chance to seal the gold. But Russia's Kabacharov had other ideas. He maintained a higher attack rate throughout the contest and won out on penalties to pull one back for the Russians and to keep the pressure on the Japanese. Still, at under 90 kilograms, they had high hopes for their Olympic bronze medalist Nishiyama. His opponent, Magomedov, however, had not read the Japanese script and dominated Nishiyama. Time and time again, the big Russian arm came over the top, leaving Nishiyama no option but to be defensive. Eventually, this was to be punished by the referee who penalised Nishiyama, allowing Magomedov to pull the Russians level. Just as in the women's contest, the male competition now went down to the very last bout.
So the very experienced Mikhailin from Russia, former world champion, 3 times world champion, but he is the current Olympic silver medalist. And Shinshinui, he's new on the block and drops to his knees. And that's going to be a penalty, surely. It is. Penalty given then. Shinshinui has it all to do now. Got to try and get this score back. And an Ouchigari there. Nice one. Nice attack there from him. Ouchigari tried to drive Mikhailin onto his side. Didn't quite get there. So some good gripping tactics here. Shinshinui fighting very, very well. Still a score down, and there's a penalty there for Mikhailin. So Mikhailin, oh, he almost walked onto that Uchimata there, Shinshinui. Mikhailin, though, getting very, very tired. And you can tell by the way he gets up there, the Japanese squad absolutely going berserk to Shinshinui. Go forward, they're saying, put him under pressure. It's 1 score each on that board. Still anybody's match. Not now, it's going to be a score, is it? Yes, it is. It's a Yuko scored on the edge. And Mikhailin pulls it out the bag, and the Russian squad are going absolutely mental. This then, seconds ticking away. Has he done it? Mikhailin's done it. The Russians have done it. They are the world team champions. After such a fantastic Olympic Games, Georgia get the bronze medal, as do Brazil. And of course, Japan have to be content with the silver, but Russia are the force of world judo now, and they must be looking to the next World Championships and, of course, 2016.
This is perfect. It's an amazing period, no? This is 4 fantastic years. It's a big, really big team, because this is just a part of the team. But we have 50 athletes now, everyone in high level. And with the people like this, it's really easy to work and find the result. The amazing result like this.
As the sun sets in Salvador, President Marius Visa passes the IJF flag onto Rio de Janeiro, host city of the 2013 World Championships. Next up is the 2012 Qingdao Grand Prix. Join us there